Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be starting a brand new series of videos taking a look at the latest wave of Star Wars The Black Series figures. We're going to be starting with Watto from The Phantom Menace, so without further ado, let's take a look at the packaging and then we'll take a closer look at this brand new figure. So taking a look at the packaging that this guy comes in, as you can see it's the modern Black Series box design that we've come to see over the last few years. We've got the red colour banding. It says Star Wars Attack of the Clones, which is actually incorrect as this is a Phantom Menace figure. A small mistake there on Hasbro's part, but I'm sure it's easily forgiven once this guy's out of the packaging. It says Watto and he's number 12 in this particular line. Then we've got the mural art on the side that we've all come to expect from Black Series box designs recently. And then on the back, that artwork is then repeated along with a description of the character as well as the relevant information we saw on the front of the box. So taking a look at Watto himself, what a fantastic figure. Hasbro have knocked this guy out of the park. It's the first figure of the wave and it's just amazing. Collectors, including myself, have been asking for this guy for so many years now, and it's so refreshing to see the Black Series not only give us aliens like this, but also listen to the fans and pick out those top choices that we've had on our wish lists for some time now. Credit to Hasbro for doing that. I'm beyond thrilled to add this guy to the Black Series finally. So I'm just going to run through the figure, going to look at some individual details, and then we'll look at the accessories and see what this guy comes with. Taking a look at that head sculpt now, fantastic detail. Paint applications for the eyes, the nose, the teeth, they're all very crisp. All those details have been accentuated very well. I'm particularly fond of the skin colour. There are lots of different pigments that are on display. It's got a very pastel type quality to it, and it's a level of detail we saw on Sebulba last year, so it's very nice to see that continue over to Watto. He's also wearing his little waistcoat, as you can see. That's cast in a brown plastic. The straps are picked out in a darker colour brown, just for some added detail. And you'll see down the arms, the paint applications continue. It's very two-tone. You've got the blue-grey on the outside and the beige running all the way down the inside. Very accurate to the character model. Awesome to see. And then further down, you'll see he's got his iconic potbelly. He's got his belt just resting on top of it there. Lots of different gadgets on the belt, all picked out nicely, detailed as accurately as possible at this scale. He's got a small little stylus object that you see him using to interact with his data pad. That has a wire that's coiled all the way around the back of the figure, and then that attaches to the opposite side of the belt, next to his little pouch there. And then he's got his small loincloth type piece detailed there. And again, that nice skin detailing follows the figure all the way down to the legs and the feet, which are also detailed very nicely. Just turning the figure around now, so you can see the wings there. There's some nice little cutouts on that waistcoat as the detail continues to wrap around the back. Lots of nice sculpt work on those wings. As you can see, the veins there have been picked out very well. It's very nice to see. Yeah, overall, a very impressive figure. Just about covers it for the details. Now we're going to take a jump into the accessories and see what this guy comes with. I just happen to have a chance cube here. There is the first accessory, and the first terrible impression of this video, so probably the last. Watto's Chance Cube, iconic in its own right, awesome to see included with this figure, individually painted on each side, different shapes of blue and red, very rustic in appearance, very nice to see, and it fits just between the two fingers on his hand, so it can be displayed like so. This is definitely how he's going to be displayed on my shelf, and probably many other collectors, I would imagine. So, other accessories that this guy comes with. As you see, he's got the flight stand that plugs into his back, This is a new accessory for Black Series, and it swoops down at an angle. It's got a nice surface area, and it's partially hollow as well, as you can see. But this guy stands very sturdy on it. Watto is of course flying for the majority of his scenes in the Phantom Menace, so it just feels right that he includes that accessory. He also comes with his walking stick, which you see in some scenes during the movie. It's the same CGI element as Yoda's walking stick, although this is a new sculpt as it's quite a piece larger. You can just pop that in his hand if you so wish. Have him walking around with that. I'll just demonstrate it for you now so you can see that even though that hand has got a pointing finger, it can be both expressive and practical. Looks very nice. Great for display. And then we've also got his small data pad, which we see him using in the workshop. Lots of nice sculpted details there on the front and on the back. And that can just be slotted into the same hand. I've just put the walking stick in. And then we've also got interchangeable wings on this guy, which is not something I thought we'd get with a Black Series figure, ever. So these have been cast in clear plastic, and they've been done in a way to convey motion. So these will both go on his back, and when you have him flying, it'll look like the wings are flapping back and forth. These are a nice inclusion, and I will show them on the figure for you at the end of the video. But for me, now, they do look good on camera, and the pictures I've posted on Instagram, a lot of people have commented that they look good and are a good accessory to have, but in hand they do look like blocks of plastic a little too much for me. So as you can see, I'm just going to keep the regular wings on Watto, as I think they look very nice nevertheless. So briefly running over articulation on this guy. Like I said, it's not something I usually cover, but with this one being a unique sculpt and a new alien character, I just thought it is an important topic to take a look at this time. So he's got a ball joint in the top of the head and in the base of the neck, so you can get plenty of movement on this guy. Ball hinge shoulders and elbows. The wrists are on the traditional Black Series hinge. Unfortunately no roly-poly joints this time, but I think they serve the figure very well, and you're still able to get those hands into the poses you will need to. He has a ball joint at the upper torso there. It is slightly hindered. There's not a lot of movement, but it's subtle enough again to convey those poses that you see Watto in on screen. There are also ball hinges at the hips, and then at the ankles, also with the pivot joint. There's no articulation in the knees, sadly, but again, I feel like with a figure like this that's dainty and uniquely proportioned, you do run the risk of over-articulating something. Now, something that I actually missed in my accessory section, the stylus type device, I apologise, I don't know what it's called. If anybody wants to let me know more about this, please feel free to do that in the comments. This does actually detach from the belt, and you can have Watto hold this, although half of the holster piece is going to be permanently attached to it if you decide to do that, just because of the way that it's been engineered. But it's a nice inclusion regardless, something that Hasbro didn't have to do, but they still went that extra mile and gave it to us, which is great to see. The wings, they're also on ball joints. They're independent of each other. And the stand where it plugs in on the back, that's also on a big ball joint too. So you can get lots of range of movement there, have him displayed on the stand however you like. And as I mentioned in the accessory section, the wings that are currently on this guy are the ones to convey motion, to make Watto look like he's flying around, as that's how we see him for the majority of the movie. So just wrapping up on Watto now, brand new Star Wars Black Series figure, excellent addition to the collection, I'm sure you'll agree. Let me know what you think though, drop a comment down below, I'd love to hear your opinion on this guy. Do you like him, or is he just not for you? Now, just one final note to touch on before we finish. I have swapped the wings back to the normal ones, as you can see, and upon doing that I have noticed that they're a little looser than they were at the start. The difference of ball joint size is minimal between the wings. I don't think there's much difference, but one plastic might be more rigid than the other, so it's stretched it out a little. Just something to bear in mind if you're going to be swapping between those wings quite often. You might end up with a loose joint here or there. I'm not saying the ones on mine are loose by any stretch. It's just something I've noticed. It's very minor, but I want to be open and let you all know ahead of time, so that when you get your figure you can, make a conscious decision about how you're going to display it. That's enough from me. Thank you all for watching. The rest of this wave is going to be reviewed as quickly as I can manage to do it. Click subscribe and you'll be notified when they go live. And you can find HD images of this guy and the other figures in the wave coming very soon to my Instagram page. So if you aren't following me there already, click that link in the description. Drop me a follow, that'd be fantastic and I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all again so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll leave you to your evenings. Take care, may the force be with you, all that good stuff. Ta-ra.